Hello everyone and welcome to James Hennon Tarot. Today I've decided to do a reading for the up and coming eclipse on the 17th of February. And I'm just going to use my 5-card spread and clarify just to give some insights and some insight and information about the prospects and opportunities and the energies of what might be happening around this time for you. This will be a general reading, so please take what resonates and obviously, as always, leave the rest. So without further ado, let's go on and shuffle the cards and select the cards. So let's see. Okay, so first of all, the first card I'm going to pull out, I shall hold the cards up and show you obviously. So the first card will be the main influencing factor. A card describes what may be going on during this period. Of course, with eclipse season, the eclipse period, it could be up to 3 to 5 days. I'm not too sure exactly how long it lasts, but we'll see. The main assets. Second card out will be the assets. What are the main actions that we need to consider and focus on during this period in relation to that? Okay. What is the main priorities during this eclipse season for us to be aware of? And finally, the helpful and beneficial opportunities and possibilities. Once we've got that out, we'll be able to start interpreting things. Right, okay. So, starting off with the bottom of the deck, I'll put this over here so you can see it. We've got Justice. Now, Justice is talking obviously here about the need for balance and the need for truth, but the need for balance. Everything needs to be balanced out a bit better. This could be within your thinking, this could be within your actions, this could be within how you feel. But maintaining that sense of balance is very important within your affairs at this time. And it's important also that any important decisions that you are thinking about making really do need to be made from a truthful and honest perspective, because there might be important documents you've got to sign or important decisions that involve paperwork or contracts, agreements and so on. So you need to be extra careful what you're doing because there could be some small print or some stuff that could be overlooked, and obviously you need to be making sure that that's in order before you commit to any signing anything or going ahead with anything. And also, again, as I say, being truthful. Internal balance is important and the truth within the situation. So that's just the underlying energy at the bottom of the deck. The actual main card though is a minor energy, and we've got the Page of Cups. So this shows really that it's a time of starting to trust, I feel, more in yourself, trust more in your emotional approach to life, what you're trying to do, what your hopes and dreams are at this time, and where your main focuses are. It's asking you to be open to new possibilities. Perhaps things have been a little bit troubled recently, because I'm focused on the water here, which is a little bit rough, which indicates there could be some emotional turbulence recently, and maybe at the moment you're in the position of trying to re-steady yourself and reinvigorate yourself and looking at possibly new directions, new possibilities. Now this could be related to personal or the professional side of your life, so it could be to do with the relationships. There could have been troubles there, or how you feel about life in general, yourself, your own well-being, or it could have been to do more with the professional side of your life. Perhaps you've been through a lot and you're just trying to reinvigorate yourself and trying to build a bit of self-trust again, restore some self-trust and self-confidence within a situation. Maybe for some even self-love if it's been difficult for you. The assets you've got working for you is the 7 of Wands. So it shows that there is that grit and that determination and that willingness to deal with these turbulences, however they're coming up for you. And there is that building courage, that courage that's being built for you to take on any challenges that are in front of you that you need to. But it's also about standing up for what you believe in, and again standing up for your own beliefs, and looking to have that bit of confidence, I think, to have a go and to tackle what's in front of you, especially if you're thinking of starting something new or starting over. The Seven of Wands says that your main asset is your ability to dig deep and stand up for yourself, say what you need to say, and really start to sort of face the challenges as we see here that are coming towards this individual. So the assets are, you're in a good place to tackle it, a better place than you may think, because you may be doubting yourself as well with what you're facing. So the main actions that you're being encouraged to consider and focus on is the King of Cups, and that talks about emotional balance and harmony, as we spoke about at the start of the reading, a need for balance. This talks about centering yourself emotionally, and just trying to be patient and take a diplomatic approach with what's going on around you. Try not to get too wrapped up in any emotional disturbances that may be going on around you. And by keeping yourself centered and taking your time and looking at the facts, you'll be able to sort of gauge how you want to move forward from here and what actions you want to take. I mean, this king is centered again in amongst rough water, but he's got his toe sort of almost in the water, so he's positioned again well within this situation. So within this sort of eclipse season, although things may be troubling for you emotionally, the actions are, stay grounded, stay sensible, take a careful approach, be diplomatic, and just be a little bit sort of easy on yourself, really. Also, if you feel that you need extra and additional information to put you in a more of a confident position or give you more knowledge, then obviously don't be afraid to seek out advice or learning, or do some valuable research that could assist you as well, which is another meaning of this sort of card in that position. So it's about taking a cautious and sensible and grounded approach, really, with whatever you're trying to do, whether you're trying to re-establish yourself, get your confidence back, or whether you're trying to go in a new direction. Obviously you've got challenges to deal with, which it says you're well placed to face. And the next card is the main priorities, is the Four of Pentacles. Now this sort of reiterates the message of the need for stability, keeping things together at this time. It's not a time to really take drastic action or make big decisions. If you are going to, as we said with the Justice at the bottom of the deck, you've got to really look at things carefully, take your time, and don't allow yourself to be thrown off centre with what might be going on. Don't take on too much, and certainly don't take on anything that's going to move you out of this position of stability. This card often can relate to needing to step out of your comfort zone, but I just think for the time being, maintaining stability and security, especially within the more practical side of your life, more practical affairs like career, finances, health, well-being, and just the general practical mundane side of life, keeping things together and not trying to rock the boat too much for the time being is a main priority. I mean, it might be important to look at your finances, your resources, your funds, and just make sure again that you don't overstretch yourself, but also that you don't overwork too much or get too stressed out by the challenges that are around you. So it's knowing when to draw the line. Again, it could be to do with boundaries as well. If you need to set healthy boundaries, that could be important. The helpful and beneficial opportunities and possibilities during this season, and especially in relation to this Page of Cups, is the Seven of Cups. So it shows that there are lots of options around you at the moment, but I believe that you've got the time, if you're prepared to sort of give yourself the time and space to prioritize which of these potential options to take. You're not limited to one, and although you may think at the moment, well, I've only got one option that I can really go with, this card suggests that you probably don't. There's probably going to be more options available. There could be many or several options or multiple options for you to spend time looking at. And of course, if you're careful, and you do enough reflection and evaluating things carefully and prioritizing what you feel is right for you, you've got more options than one. It's also important to listen to your instincts and intuition about things, because cups are linked to feelings, emotions, and intuition and instincts. So rational thinking isn't probably going to help an awful lot, but it's just feeling what you need to prioritize and having the time and space to prioritize you as well, because you need to prioritize yourself, especially with the options you select. Because what you don't want to do, as it says with the King of Cups, is you don't want to throw yourself off center. You don't want to get yourself out of this grounded position. You want to stay grounded, take sensible actions, be patient and understanding and compassionate and diplomatic as you move forward, especially in any actions, and don't take on too much that's going to stress you at this time. But there is a lot to look at. What we'll do is we'll just clarify. I think we'll clarify the Seven of Wands first of all. So if we have time to clarify the Seven of Wands, please. Just give us a bit more information. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a lot of sevens in this reading. There's 3 sevens, so 777. So bear that in mind. That's a good card. But with the Seven of Pentacles, your asset is you know what your challenges you're taking on. You know what you've got to deal with. But you also know where you need to take action and where you need to start addressing things, because the Seven of Pentacles is this taking stock reevaluation card. Now in the asset position, it means that you are becoming aware of where things are not working out and where things need to be adjusted, but it also shows you where to put your energy, where you need to invest your energy and time and effort, and what battles are certainly worth fighting and what battles are not worth fighting. So again, not overstretching yourself, but thinking, give it some serious thought, but you're in a position to give serious thought to things and to start weighing up where you need to possibly start addressing things. Seeing where something isn't working, you can start thinking about making some minor adjustments, but I wouldn't think that they're going to be massive at this time, but they could be useful. Let's just clarify this King of Cups, please, just so it gives a bit more info on that. Find the King of Cups, one card, please. And you've got the King of Pentacles, so another king. So this is really about maintaining, paying attention to the need for stability and security. Again, not overstepping the mark or taking on too much. It's also about, again, emphasizes for me the potential need to seek advice or do some research to help you in practical, financial or career matters, or even property matters. But maintaining that sensible approach is very good for the time being, especially in managing resources and your energy, what you're putting your energies into at this time. So that's that. But it's turning into quite a practical reading now as well. So there's starting to get some pentacles on the board. We've got 3. So I think that during this eclipse period in February 17th and onwards, you will be having to look at finances, practical matters that could relate to health and well-being, could relate to, as I say, career, finances, property, and anything else related to the physical, practical world. Whatever is important to you, take as resonates. Let's clarify this 4 of Pentacles, give us a bit more on what the main priorities and objectives are. Clarifying the 4 of Pentacles in that position, please. Play ball. One more, please. Bear with me. There we go. Well, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, so it's knowing where to commit your actions, knowing what you need to do to keep going, keep plodding on, keep doing what's expected of you, committed, diligent work and effort where you need to. But again, it's not talking about extending yourself too much, but paying close attention to the details of situations and putting the work in where necessary so that you can maintain your stability, you don't get overstretched, and you don't obviously push yourself too much. But working towards your goals is important. You still need to do that, but without, as I say, overstretching things. There is a feeling here also about there may be some considerations for some of you into doing some extra research, learning or study as well. I feel there could be something that you could be considering, a new course or an exam of some sort during this period, which again, with the right amount of advice and guidance from those in a good position to do so, that could be beneficial, it could be helpful. So it's something to consider anyway. It won't resonate with all of you, of course. Finally, let's just have a look at the Seven of Cups and clarify that, please. Hold on. Just too many fell out. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. Again, too many fell out. That's not very good. We don't want all that many. Just want one or two, really. 5 or 6 is too much. Too confusing. We don't want to confuse things too much. Right, just one on the floor, which I think we'll take. Yeah, so we've got the 8 of Swords reversed, which is clarifying this 7 of Cups. So that's telling me that there could be a change in how you're seeing things, a shift in your thinking. Perhaps you're starting to become a bit more open-minded and a bit more open to the fact that you've got more options and you're not as stuck as you think you are. So you're going to be able to come out of a stuck position, either a physically stuck position if you really are physically stuck. I'm not talking about mobility issues. I'm talking about if you're stuck within a situation or stuck within your mind. So you've got the opportunity, I think, with what's going on around you. And the other 2 cards we've got are the Moon and the 10 of Swords. So that's telling me that although things aren't seen too clearly, if you trust your instincts with these decisions, things are likely to start becoming a little bit clearer. Not straight away, but there is hope on the horizon, as we see with this card. And it does symbolise, more importantly, the end of a potential cycle that's been difficult for you. And as I say, you've got more options and choices available to you than you may give yourself credit for currently. So don't be despondent with whatever this is you're dealing with, because there is some uncertainty, as I said, and some emotional disturbances that you don't fully understand at the moment. But to me, this period is about getting back on your feet emotionally, learning to trust in yourself again, and being open to new possibilities, new opportunities, especially those that are in connection with your heart's desire, things that you want to do, whether they're dreams or goals, whether it's getting back into the dating scene, whether it's just learning to trust yourself again, whether it's trying to develop new skills in the workplace or get back into work, whether it's just looking after yourself and prioritizing yourself. Please take it as it resonates. But either way, I think there are shifts potentially in your thinking and how you're seeing things that can help bring you out of where you've been restricted or you felt impeded or held back in ways. I think you've got the opportunity to do it, because these cards are suggesting that this card is suggesting that you've got the bravery and determination to push yourself to do something, and there is a willingness to look at what's not working in your life and start to make some minor tweaks. Again, I don't think they're going to be major tweaks at the moment, but they will. Whatever you start could be baby steps, because the page, of course, is fragile steps to start with. It's not a great big massive new beginning, or it's got to be developed and nurtured in time. It could be something you're trying to birth into the world as well with the page, because the Page of Cups can sometimes mean that. So it could literally mean that somebody could be pregnant or about to have, in the process of having a baby as well, or there could be news of it. But that's slightly off the course a bit, really. It's about, I think, prioritizing yourself and the options you've got, being brave, and learning to deal with what's challenges are around you at the moment. Things aren't going to be obviously that clear with the Moon, so be patient with yourself, be patient with the situations that you are facing, but know that you're on the verge of a cycle end, because pages, of course, are about potential new beginnings or new directions or new possibilities, and of course the 10 of Swords is the closing out of a difficult chapter, one that probably has taken a lot out of you. But as I say, with this nice yellow in the background on the horizon, that's the sun coming up. That's the opportunity to finally put this to bed, and maybe the uncertainties and lack of clarity can start to come through, and you can start to intuitively see how to move forward, but you're not going to know necessarily how to move forward until you start moving forward. So it's going to be about taking tentative and careful steps, looking at your options, weighing them up, and allowing yourself the time to really think about what is going to be best for you, especially how you feel about something. And looking after your emotional well-being is very important. As we said with the King of Cups, so important to stay grounded and to not let yourself get thrown off centre. Maintaining that sense of balance, as we said at the beginning of the reading with the Justice card, maintaining an inner sense of balance, not taking on too much and giving yourself time to make any important decisions. There may be some decisions to make. You've certainly got options to look at, and where you need to start asserting yourself, you'll start to get things clear. They'll start to come into focus a little bit more as the period goes on, especially the period after the eclipse, because the eclipse obviously shows us, shines extra light on what we need to look at and where we need to go moving forward. But there is certainly something that you want to commit yourself to at the moment, whether it's personal or professional, and as long as you're not throwing yourself off this center, you're not threatening your stability along the way, then it's worth working towards it. But again, pushing too hard isn't going to be good in any aspect of your life at the moment. It's a patient period, so but it looks very promising and hopeful if you're careful and give yourself enough time, and also give some, prioritize some good self-care with this Page of Cups, because I think you've gone through a lot recently and you don't want to really keep beating yourself up. You need to give yourself time and space with this. But yeah, it does look quite good for you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe if you find these videos helpful. Give us a thumbs up and drop a comment below if you find it helpful. Until the next one, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.